Yeah, and I think you touch on something when you say you have to be a recluse to be able to be a writer. I think that's quite spot on. You've seen the film Almost Famous, right?
Have I? I don't know.
It's a film about Cameron Crowe, and he's writing for Rolling Stone as a young kid.
No, I haven't seen it. Tell me about it.
It's a brilliant film about Cameron Crowe's formation as a journalist, and there's a scene. His mentor is Lester Bangs, who was writing for Cream magazine, and there's a scene where the young Cameron Crowe is being mentored by Lester Bangs, and Lester just tells him that he can't become friends with the band that he's covering for Rolling Stone. He can't become friends with them because as a journalist, you have to be honest and unmerciful. You have to break the hearts of your own friends.
You do.
And
you do. You have. Yeah. You must not become friends with presidents. You must not. They will. I mean, you go on. No, I don't want to.
No. And
they want you to be, because it makes it harder for you to tell them they're full of shit.
Yeah. And it's not just presidents, it's powerful people in general.
Mm-hmm.
You have to be willing
Musk.
to...
Look how close some of these journalists have gotten to Musk and Thiel.
Yeah.
Not just close ideologically, but financially indebted to them. Or the entire neocon foundation circle. Once you take vast amounts of money from these people and spend every cocktail party with them, it's very hard to say they're full of shit the next day.
It is, and one has to be prepared to be alone, to have no friends, because you might just have to turn around and say, I agreed with you on this, and I was willing to travel with you up to this point, but now I don't agree anymore, and I am going to tell you the truth. This is what I think, and you have to be willing to just to be ostracized, I would say. And it was difficult for me when a big chunk of my audience turned on me, and a lot of people who were enamored with the so-called intellectual dark web turned on me over the issue of vaccines. But it has steeled me for the situation that we're in now, which is where we're just criticizing Trump and the obvious deformities of the administration. And it's, although some of our audience are not happy, we've been through it. We've been through this process before, and I'm emotionally much better able to handle it.
Yeah, it does require a certain emotional skill. I learned the very hard way from very early on. I just learned early on, I can't be an openly gay man and write what I believe without huge blowback from other gay men and lesbians and all the rest of it. So what do? Well, I write what I think.
Yeah.
And I try and tell the truth best I can.
Yeah.
And if I didn't have Orwell in front of me as this model, if I didn't have Aron, if I didn't have some of these people in history that I've idolized in a way, but even though we did a podcast recently on Spinoza, who no glory really, except among a handful of people who recognized what he was doing, which was enough for him. Not even published in his lifetime, mostly. Yeah. Oakeshott for me was the other example, a man who refused in honors, refused never be knighted. It's for God's sake, never be co-opted. But it's rare to find that. Humans, again, are not like that in general. It's hard for people to feel that way. It's hard for people to work against their own emotions. It's hard for people to work against their friends.
Well, you're talking about having intrinsic motivation. So when it comes to writing, you're motivated by something that's deep inside you. Whereas I think a lot of people, particularly when it comes to any public-facing occupation in the media or entertainment, a lot of people are motivated by external forces. They want to be celebrated. They want to be famous. They want to impress people. They want that social validation. And I think it's a risk in journalism to be too extroverted because you're more sensitive or more desirous of social validation. So although being an introvert can hold you back in some respects, as in you're not out there schmoozing and getting the investors and the donors on board, it does help you, I think, retain that intrinsic motivation, which means integrity over the longer term.